We are now in the second aspect of our discussion in Module 1 of Tavani's General Introduction to Ethics and Professional Ethics. And as we ended up with consequentialism in Aspect 1, here we are picking up with utilitarianism, a consequentialist ethical theory that pays attention to consequences, and it measures consequences in terms of happiness and suffering, or pleasure and pain. According to consequentialism, the moral action is the one that brings about the best consequences or results. Yes, there's also a way to evaluate morality of actions without looking at the consequences or results, and we will discuss that in part B. And what is the criteria for deciding which consequences are best? Since each living being, by nature, as studied in biology, aims to be as happy as possible and to avoid suffering as much as possible, the best action is the one that brings about the most happiness and reduces the most suffering. In other words, the moral action is the one that brings about the most utility, measured in terms of total happiness and suffering brought about. Total happiness minus total suffering. And this school of thought is known as utilitarianism. Utilitarianism is one kind of consequentialism. Since utilitarianism is the only kind of consequentialism that we will deal with in our class, we will only talk about utilitarianism. According to utilitarianism, the right moral decision is to throw the switch and to redirect the runaway trolley to kill one person. Throwing the switch produces the total utility of +4. The sum total of +5 units of happiness of those saved and -1 unit of happiness of the person killed. Not throwing the switch would have produced the total utility of -4. The sum total of +1 units of happiness of the one person saved and -5 units of suffering of the persons killed. However, let us face a criticism of the utilitarian position. It is morally wrong to intentionally kill people. We have a moral duty not to kill people in this way, regardless of the consequences of our actions, regardless of how much happiness and suffering is thereby produced. We will look at this criticism in the next aspect.